What's up, everybody? This is Squeak. This is going to be a video review for the Novation Xio 25. In this video, I might have to do several of them. I'm not sure how much I can cover in this video. I'm not going to go through all the preset patches in this video. I want to explain more about the features and functions of what this synthesizer has, alright? If you want to hear the presets, there's a guy I'm going to be working with by the name of Bloody 77 or Bloody Sunday 77, I believe is his name. And he has probably the best video on YouTube that showcases the presets in this synth. So I'll post a link here on my video. And if you want to hear the presets, just click on that link, alright? So, the XioSynth, what is it? The XioSynth is probably the most affordable hardware synth on the market in the analog modeling area. The reason I say the most affordable is because it really has no competitors in the price range that this thing sells for. But the two most known competitors for this synth are the Alesis Micron and the Microkorg. But the Micron and the Microkorg both sell for $100 more than this synth, and one of the reasons is because those two have vocoders. This synth does not have a vocoder. Now, that's not a bad thing. A vocoder will increase the cost of a synth, but not everybody needs a vocoder. So if you don't want a vocoder, don't pay for that feature. So what is this synth? It's an analog modeling synth. Some people like to call them VA synths. All right. The synth engine on this thing's got 200 presets, but you don't buy one of these things to use the presets. You buy something like this so that you can make your own patches. The synth engine is 3 oscillators, and you have 17 different waveforms that you can choose from for each oscillator. The synth is actually 10 voice poly, not 8 voice. Some of the websites out there have it listed for 8 voices, but it's actually 10 voices. You've got one filter with varying types, 2 LFOs, 32 waveforms for each of those, arpeggiator, and a Novation exclusive thing called the X-Gator. On your controller section here, you've got 11 knobs and 11 buttons under your controllers for controlling your oscillators, your filters, your LFOs, your envelopes, and so forth. And these are multi-purpose functioning buttons too, because there are function switches here to the left. And for example, when this top LED is active, these knobs control everything on the top row. When the lower LED is active, it controls everything on the bottom row. And if you want to access other menus outside of these controllers, right here in blue, may be hard to see in the video, but you'll press this button and you can toggle back and forth and access various functions under menus. And then you can activate the top LED and get into your audio functions. Let's see, on the controller section here, we also have a pitch and modulation stick. Some of you like the wheels. I prefer the stick. That's also assignable. And it also has the touchpad. The touchpad is really cool because the touchpad, you can assign up to 4 parameters on this touchpad. You can assign 2 parameters in the X direction and 2 parameters in the Y direction. And I believe with the modulation and pitch stick and touchpad together, you can control up to 6 parameters with this alone right here. So that's pretty neat. The keypad, 25 keys, velocity sensitive. It does not have aftertouch. If you want aftertouch, you're going to have to go to the model above it, which is the X Station, which, by the way, is a very nice synth. The keys are semi-weighted. I'm not too sure how I feel yet about the key action because I've played a lot of semi-weighted keys over the years and owned them too. And I don't know if this is really a true semi-weighted keypad or if it's one of those keypads where some companies cheat and it's really done more with springs. There may or may not be weights underneath these keys, but it's not a bad action, but it's definitely a different feeling semi-weighted. I've never played a semi-weighted keypad that felt quite like this one. The quality of the keypad, it's not too bad. Some of the keys have a little rattle to them, but again, you got to consider the price range of this synthesizer, all right? Power consumption. You have 3 options for power consumption with this synth. You can power it by the AC adapter, you can use batteries, and you can use a USB cable to power this. And what's nice about using that USB cable is if you have a mobile setup like a laptop and you don't want to carry your power adapter with you everywhere, you can plug it in through USB and power it that way. So that's a very handy feature. This is a dual-purpose synth. It's not just an analog modeling synth, it's also a fully featured MIDI controller, and everything on this panel is assignable. And it comes with numerous MIDI templates that are set to control some of the popular softwares out there. And there are some templates that are even set up to control some Novation exclusive software, such as the Bass Station. Again, I said you got 200 patches, and you can overwrite those patches if you don't like them to create your own. Not only is it a MIDI controller, but this is also a 24-bit audio interface. You've got an XLR mic jack on the back with phantom power, and the phantom power has various voltage settings that you can choose from, so that's really cool. It's pretty light. The construction of the body, not too bad. You know, it's a plastic body, obviously. But again, you got to consider the price range with this synthesizer. This synth only costs $299. When you look at its competitors like the Micron and the Microkorg, you're looking at $399, but that's a price increase because those two synths have a vocoder. There's no vocoder on this synth. And again, if you don't want one, you don't need to pay the money for that. It does have a MIDI out jack, and it doesn't have a MIDI in jack, and I wish it did, but it has a MIDI out jack. It'd be nice if they had a MIDI in jack or even a MIDI through as well, so that you could control the synth engine with another keypad. But again, you got to consider the price range. Let's see, what else can I show you here? Let's see. Down over here, this is one thing really nice. The effects on this synth. You have several effects. You have delay, reverb, chorus, distortion, EQ, volume, and panning. And what's nice about those effects is every single one of those effects can be applied to one patch. You can stack 3 oscillators together, make various adjustments to the parameters, and then put all those effects onto one patch. And how you would access these effects is very simple. You just press this button up and down, and it just scrolls through the various effects. The LED will actually become active on whichever effect you have selected. And this knob to the left of the LEDs, this will control the effect level of whichever effect you currently have that's highlighted with the LED. And if you want to control something else, like I said before, the ARP tempo was underneath there. You can hit the function button and control the ARP tempo under that. Overall, guys, not a bad synth, well worth the money. All right. Some of the patches, I might show you a few of the patches here. Let me turn some of the volume up. This has a little ARP assigned to it. Nice little ARP sign to that one. Over here we have, let's see, this is one of the patches that I do like. It's called Bend Me, and I'm going to show you guys something here too with the velocity. I'm going to see if you can figure this out. This is another cool thing that this synth does. Alright, this patch is called Bend Me. Now listen as I start to increase on my velocity. You hear that? Yeah, some of y'all should know what that is. That's very cool that you can control that with velocity. I do want to touch on one thing. Bloody Sunday, if you're watching this video, we had a discussion before about one of the preset patches on here called the zigzag bass. And I noticed something, and I don't know if Novasion is aware that this has changed, but the zigzag bass is not the same on this synth as in your video. And I'm going to play it for you and listen to it. Hear how slow it is. I don't know why they changed that. I'm not even aware if Novasion knows that that's different, but the zigzag bass doesn't sound the same on this as some of the other Zios. So they may have done something when they did some software upgrades for this thing. I don't know. Let's see, what other patch can I show you here. Let's go to 150. This is one I like. What I'll do with this patch here is I'll mess around with the effects, and I'll show you something here, how easy it is to adjust the effects. All right. Again, I'm going to show you something else here. Remember I showed you the other patch, what I was able to control with velocity? Yeah, that's nice. Alright, adjusting the effects is very easy. Like I said, you're just going to use this button over here. And I'm going to use this knob. This is going to adjust the delay. Alright, put a little delay on that. Maybe add a little reverb, a little chorus. Alright, not too bad. And again, you can go up on your octaves. Alright, overall guys, not a bad synth. Stay tuned. I'm going to have some more videos coming up where I might be jamming with this thing with the street box and maybe going in and creating some custom patches. Alright, stay tuned.